We are the Nerd Eternal Network.
Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of Icons of the Wider World, here on the Nerd Eternal Network. I'm your GM for the day, Jason, and with me as usual is Mike, today playing Everlast.
Hello.
Curtis playing Emudon. Taylor playing Slapshot.
Howdy, howdy.
Anna playing the Architect. And Zach playing Wolf Witch. Alright, who remembers where we finished up last time?
We bounced out of the Headsman's little secret compound / skyscraper fortress and back into Wolf Witch's basement, where Sean, now possessed by something, was reading one of her tomes.
Seth.
It's kind of lame being possessed by someone named Seth.
Oh no, it's somebody named Seth who's possessed.
Oh, he kind of deserves it.
He didn't name himself that.
He chose to keep it.
So yes, you were at the basement of whatever Wolf Witch's magic shop is called. Did you ever come up with a name for that, Zach?
Oh, it was a Trishik's occult supply and bookstore.
That's right, because you have the racks of Harry Potter wands at the very front. And it gets gradually more real the further back into the store you get.
Harry Potter's real.
It's as real as wrestling, buddy. It's as real as wrestling.
Which means it's super real.
Harry Potter was a ripoff, and DC Comics should have sued that one.
I know. Poor books of magic.
Alright. So yes, as you checked out your basement, as you teleported into your basement, Seth was standing there with golden green eyes flipping through one of your tomes.
Put down the book and get out of the boy. Who or whatever you are. I am in no mood to deal with you.
Not exactly the introduction I was expecting. He does shut the book and sets it back on the shelf. This is a fake, by the way.
Wait, what?
It's a fake.
I paid $1,200 for that.
I look at him. You couldn't tell?
Oh, it's old, but it's an old fraud.
Well, there's $1,200 down the drain. Oh well. But as I was saying, get out of the boy.
Let's see. Sorry, I was looking for his name, but I forgot to write down on this computer.
You're fine.
Well, I'm afraid I can't exactly get out of the boy, as I kind of am the boy.
What? Elaborate. It's been a very long day.
It's a reincarnation of sorts.
Oh, one of these situations. Lovely.
Don't worry, I'm not here to control him indefinitely. More to advise him. I've simply took the driver's seat. Is that the proper use of that phrase? Momentarily to figure out a little bit about the modern day. I decided to come see his place of employment.
And you decide to break into my basement to do this.
The artifact that awoke him was stored down here. I decided to see if you had anything else dangerous that perhaps you were not capable of properly protecting.
I am more than capable of taking care of any of these artifacts.
Especially
The architect is highly
fake
amused.
Oh, Spirit, Everlast has a question for the Spirit whenever she gets an opportunity. She senses an opportunity to interject.
She's young. I can totally see her just holding up her hand.
Spirit, do you by any chance have your host's permission to manifest? Because that's kind of a deal from what I've studied.
He was asleep, so he's fine.
Has he undergone any kind of preparation or ritual to handle this?
Well, no, because like I said, it's reincarnation, so I was kind of always here, simply not awake.
Okay.
That
Actually sounds
sounds
kind
more like a possession thing than a reincarnation thing.
Clearly only because you don't understand how these things work.
Yeah, it's kind of, honestly, it's kind of my situation too. So that's why I was asking if what's your employee's name? Seth, was it?
Yes, he's a very good boy. Works for cheap.
Well, I hope he's been trained to be able to handle the accommodation, as it were. Because it's a serious thing. I had to undergo all kinds of mental rigorous preparations for that.
Well,
Yeah.
no, he's just a literature major. It's he answered a want ad. I never expected this. She waves her hand at the thing that is set.
Oh, is that what he told you? Oh.
So who are we talking to? I mean, who is Seth the reincarnation of? Sethagima?
And that is the problem. I had something laying around here with his name on it, because it's this long. But I don't know what I did with it. And it's one of the things that I did not realize it was missing until just now, and I'm going to reach for it.
Nathaniel Naradrum.
No, that I can probably remember.
Robert Tecumseh Longskewer.
Napoleon.
Susan.
Yeah. Oh, there we go.
Napoleon Bonaparte. He's two Napoleons.
Alright. Alright. I should have been practicing this name. He tells you his name is Amamon, or Ammon. I guess you pronounce it Amamon. Mayethotep. It has a distinctively Egyptian ring to it.
Does this name ring any bells?
Particularly to Everlast.
Both of you can give me intelligence rolls for sure, and if you've got a specialty that you think would help, like a history or a culture or what have you.
I can.
A cult would work.
I've got a code. I could also tag one of my qualities to for extra. What's it? So I can make an occultist roll. Wait, how many? Oh, I only have one determination. Maybe not.
Oh, it's fine.
got
Use it now.
I'm sorry.
I said it's fine. Use it now.
Okay. All right. So I'll take a +2 on this, and let me type it in directly. Oh, you've got a 13. Well, let's see if FS may know something different. /roll 1d6 plus intelligence is 4. 1 for the occult, and then 2 more for tagging my
Which quality are you taking?
Let's go with Warrior Reborn, because since the warrior in particular is ancient Egyptian champion. Hey, I rolled exactly the same number.
All right. Let's see, Wolf Witch. From studying some Egyptian culture, just kind of in your occult studies, and just the random, magical fiddle faddle you've picked up over time.
Fiddle faddle.
Amon, I guess that's how you're probably supposed to say it. His name would basically translate as, his first name would translate as the Hidden One. But his last name is Piece of Mott. Mott being one of the Egyptian deities.
Yes, the deity that represents the order of the universe. That's it's very auspicious indeed.
And balance, and it's her feather that your heart is weighed against. In judgment and all that jazz.
So that's peace as in War and Peace, right?
Right.
Oh, okay. Not like, take a piece of
Not like you lopped off her pinky finger.
Right. You never know.
Well, that's true. Some of the Egyptian guys did get lopped up into pieces.
Yeah, like my nemesis.
I thought it was
No,
Osiris.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was Osiris.
You're right. That's correct.
So there was one piece they never found.
And guess which one that is?
Supposedly it was lost in the Nile. That's why the Nile is so fertile.
Oh.
At
That
least
was
in
the
one-
piece I was going to guess.
at least in one version of it that I read. Everlast. You don't know the translation of the name or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Though if you sat there and puzzled out, you could probably figure it out, given your background. But it reminds you of something you read in your order's histories. That name rings a bell. They have it recorded as the... you're pretty sure that was the name of the last living priest of Mott. It's been quite some time ago. Probably pre-Crusades or Crusade-ish era. He was not a member of the order particularly, but he was listed as an ally of theirs.
Oh, excellent.
They didn't necessarily serve the exact same deities, but both of them served kind of the Pantheon as a whole or whatever.
Yeah, if you're talking about the paragons of order, I haven't really settled on whether they're exclusively Egyptian. I was thinking,
okay.
Just for funsies, it probably wouldn't necessarily.
Okay.
As long as that fits whatever you have envisioned for the world background.
Oh no, that's fine.
I can go either way. That was just my default understanding.
It can be an interfaith order. I mean, they're pretty much all dead now, so it's not that big a deal in the modern portion of the city. But
You guys
anyway.
realized you summoned my cat with all this Egyptian stuff.
what's your cat's name?
Cats used to
Armageddon.
be worshipped in ancient Egypt. Some things never change. I have 2 cats myself, so.
Actually, because my animals all have a name that's a mouthful, her full name is like Stormageddon, Kitkim, Umar, Pfeiffer, because I
Because
had
why
some
not?
Catwoman tributes.
So why not name cat something you can't tell people?
The earliest recorded name for a cat was Egyptian,
Makes sense.
It's not surprising.
and it meant something along the lines of sweet or pleasant. So
Aw.
basically, ancient Egyptians were naming their cats Sweetie.
That's precious.
Anyway, back on.
Yes. So, I guess Everlast would kind of like chime in just to acknowledge the spirits devotion to maintaining the cosmic order, just so my teammates get a sense that this isn't necessarily automatically a evil avatar of destruction. Although certainly not a respecter of property rights.
I took nothing. I assumed the library was for reading.
It's not a library, it's a private study / armory. And if you didn't take anything, then where did the Ankh go? That beamed my poor, underpaid assistant in the head a few weeks ago.
He reaches up and kind of pulls his shirt down, and he's wearing it on chain.
Give it back.
No. I'm afraid the Ankh was mine long before it was yours.
And then you die.
Well, you're dead now. Give it back.
And my memories were contained in it.
Well, to be fair, I mean, this gets into the whole issue of appropriation and of archaeological artifacts, and technically it was his cultures, she'd catch herself and say, I guess our cultures. Nothing personal, Wolfwitch. I mean, thanks for saving our lives and everything. But
I have to agree, though. This still sounds more like possession than reincarnation.
Only if I was going to stay in control for extended periods of time.
Matters of the soul and reincarnation are extremely complex. I'm not going to wade into that quagmire.
So I can't help but notice that you're all very colorfully adorned.
Yes, they're. I guess you could call them battle vestments.
Wait, time out. You reincarnated, right?
Which one are you talking to?
The reincarnated dude.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
How do you not have any memories of Seth?
I have not dug through his memories to...
So you're sitting here saying, well, I wanted to get a acknowledgement of what this world is, and you don't just look in the memories of the guy that's lived it.
He's a little annoyed with me at the moment, and has been putting me out, and it would be impolite, bordering on immoral, to simply bust my way into his head, or into his memory.
Well, that's good to hear.
His body's a completely different thing.
Is already kind of immoral.
Yeah, I thought you said he was asleep anyways.
Yes.
What other lies are you...
The man needs his rest.
I'm sure this isn't doing his sleep cycles any good. Wait, did you put him to sleep?
No.
Also, I'd like to note you claiming reincarnation and then saying the body is his instead of yours. Clearly, you aren't a true reincarnation, as you have a differing body and mind functioning.
Well, I mean, if you're a blood descendant, the spirit could inhabit, and it could technically be kind of a reincarnation because he's reincarnating in the body, but there's kind of a cohabitation issue. That's kind of what I have going on.
Cohabitation, that means there's more than one of them.
No.
There's more than one soul in a body. It's not reincarnation, it's possession.
Perhaps it's the same soul, but without but two sets of memory. Think of it as two operating systems.
Sybil starts browsing through the library, kind of keep an ear on what's going on, but yeah, she's kind of... Alright, so you don't know what superheroes are, but you do know what operating systems are, and don't touch them! I will hex you to hell! Try me!
Yeah, hex us to hell like how you hex
Seth had a computer book handy.
Nice. Good save.
You can roll willpower checks to kind of sense motive on the guy if you want to.
I might do that just because, after my experience with the Headsman, I might be a little gun shy about giving blind trust to people, or immediate trust, I should say. What would that be? Is that a awareness thing?
Willpower is usually social. It's usually the social stuff.
Oh, okay. I could do that. I've generated a 9.
don't think he's intentionally lying about anything. But you have a hard time getting a good read on him, so you can't be. You're not 100% certain, but he doesn't seem to be lying.
If he did spend his mortal life in servitude to Mott, then I'm going to cut him some slack, or give him the benefit of the doubt.
It tells you, as far as whichever one you were talking about, him hopping into Seth's body being immoral. That wasn't something I decided. That was something my goddess decided. She put all my old memories into this Ankh and said I would find it again when I needed to.
So, do you have to wear it to retain access to your memories, or could you just remember them and not need the Ankh anymore?
Seth needs the Ankh for another purpose.
Oh.
Now that he has come into contact with it, I and him, the memories, if you will, he names off a portion of the Egyptian soul, because, the Egyptians had several different pieces of the soul. And only, I want to say, I don't know that they had reincarnation for everybody, but there were ideals that some people could come back. Like child geniuses and stuff would be looked at as being an old soul that had come back through and, had retained a little bit of what they had had before. But so you had the Ka, the Ba, or Ba, how do you say it? I forget. He rattles off the terms for the pieces of the soul and the piece that was stored there, which is the part that held his memories then, and, But no, Seth had there was more to the Ankh than just it storing the Amon memories.
Say, is this will this Ankh give Seth any other abilities? I mean, we could.
It will give him access to the blessings that I was given while I was alive.
Oh, that sounds like it'd be useful, especially hey, after our stalemate with the Headsman, we could one more person on our side wouldn't be a bad thing. Even an untrained person like Seth, I don't know, is he ever Wolfwitch? Do you think he could potentially have the stuff?
He gets winded going up and down the stairs too many times carrying cases of books. No. Not even heavy books. Children's books.
Okay, well, I don't know. Maybe
Amon kind of looks down at the body, and Seth looks like it's in pretty decent shape. I'm not certain if I trust her.
What? Oh.
Take off that Ankh, and I'm certain I'll trust you.
Would it make you feel better if I let you talk to Seth?
How would we even know that was Seth speaking and not just you imitating his voice?
Well, you guys are mystics. You can figure it out, right? Surely you can tell the difference.
Yes, but that requires me to do things.
Were you trying to say something, Taylor? I thought I heard somebody get in the background.
Yes, I said I'll allow it.
All of a sudden, his eyes stop glowing. They close. They stop glowing, and it's like the body goes limp and starts to fall. And you see his eyes snap open and they look normal. He kind of catches himself. He looks up and he sees all of you. Let's see. Wolfwitch. Seth would know for sure that you did actual magic. Did he know you were superheroing? I can't remember.
I don't believe he knew that she was actually a superhero.
Other than he knows during the invasion portion that you basically locked him in there and then you were going to go try to find out what was going on.
Yeah.
So yeah, he kind of looks around at everybody. Takes a deep breath. Looks down. Okay, I'm wearing pants. Last thing I remember, I was in my apartment going to bed.
Yeah, from what I've last remember is whenever you come to with some memory loss, that's very important to determine what the state of your clothing.
Boss, what am I doing at work?
Well, from what your guest told us, you're being semi-possessed by a previous iteration of yourself. And to attempt to learn about the modern world, he decided to come to your place of employment, break into my basement / armory / workshop, and start thumbing library, and start thumbing through some ancient tomes, and one of which is fake, apparently, that I spent $1,200 on in 1973. Do you know how much $1973 are in 2019 money? It's a lot
No,
more.
it's before my time.
A lot of things were, sweetie. But,
So am I fired?
Inflation is a
Broken
bitch.
here?
No, it's not your fault. You're being semi-possessed by a dead Egyptian. It happens to the best of us.
Wait a second. He told me to keep it a secret, but he came in here and he told all of you. And he kind of looks at everybody, takes a closer look at everybody.
Hey,
You're a
yo, what up?
superhero, aren't you?
I'm working on it. But the rest are. Except maybe her, and she points to the architect. I don't know what her deal is. I'm starting to figure it out, and when I do, I'm going to be very angry.
You know I could suffocate you, right?
I can open up a portal to hell and drop you in it. I'm not impressed.
Elena will introduce herself to Seth, and she'll introduce herself as Elena, just to be friendly and stuff.
He shakes your hand. Seth and Etcher, pleased to meet you.
Yeah, I know all this reincarnation stuff is confusing. I'm honestly kind of in a similar situation, and I'm trying to figure it out too. And I've been preparing for this all my life.
Oh, at least you know a little bit of what's going on then.
Yeah, it really helps to have buy-in from the get-go and this sort of stuff. It helps with the disorientation thing, and the host rights and all that.
So, if Seth is aware of what's going on, and Amon said that he would find the Ankh when it was needed, did Amon let you know why it was needed?
No, I don't know if he's keeping that a secret from me on purpose or if he just doesn't know. He just said I needed to train and learn how to use his gifts.
He claims the Ankh contained a portion of the gifts he had in a previous life.
Seth kind of nods his head.
What that means, he did not say.
He reaches in, he pulls the Ankh out, kind of places it over his heart. Hang on, I realize I was on the wrong page. There is a flash of light, and you see this.
Ooh! I knew it. He is. I knew it. He is a superhero too. Sweet.
He kind of looks. I assume that's what I'm supposed to be doing. The hieroglyphs may be Egyptian, but I'm pretty sure the tights portion is.
Pretty fashionable. I like it.
Perhaps it's something that modifies its appearance as time goes on. Who knows what it'll look like in 1,000 years from now. But still.
Seth kind of nods his head. I figure it taps into your subconscious. It kept the Egyptian theme, but it took on kind of a modern superhero vibe.
Yeah, the same thing happened to me.
Egyptians weren't big on pants.
Yeah, but it gets cold around here, so pants are kind of a must.
So what can you do? Do you have super strength?
No.
Okay, no arm wrestling matches. Let's see. Do you have like priestly powers? Can you summon snakes?
Are any of y'all particularly scuffed up looking? Who's hurt last time?
Oh, that's a good question. I know I'm probably pretty exhausted since I spent all my pretty much spent all my determination. No, I'm not touched, but yeah, I probably still look like I'm.
Knocks.
Big pardon?
Which took a couple knocks.
When he looks around and he sees that you're clearly damaged, he's like, "Come here, boss."
She takes a step forward. Fairly confident she can kick his ass if she needs to. Still not totally trusting the situation, but go ahead.
Let me check how much she can do at a time.
Don't worry. I'll avenge you.
Okay. You get 5 stamina back.
Nice. Practical.
Not too shabby.
And there's a spot, there's kind of a golden glow that radiates off of his hand as he touches you. He goes, according to Mon, Mott had blessed him. He had given him the ability to bless her allies and curse her enemies.
Well, normally I try to avoid the godly and goddish, but I do feel a lot better now. Physically, if not my ego.
He says I can fly too, but I haven't jumped off any buildings yet.
Yeah, flying's one of those things you only get one shot at getting right.
Yeah. I've been kind of staying inside to practice, and he said something about the wingspan indoors. I don't know.
Oh, you can make wings appear?
That's what he was saying.
Nice. I've got super strength and super speed. No flying, though.
Who are you a reincarnation of?
Oh, well, actually, not a god like you. The champion Zansu is.
Well, Amon's just a priest.
Is my region.
He was just a priest that was blessed by his goddess.
Okay, well, yeah, I guess we're kind of in the same club then. I should say, it's nice to. Actually, she says with a little more earnestness and not as much flipness that it's nice to have a club again. Well, no, I mean, not that I didn't have before, I guess, realizing that, she's part of the Haunted now. You know what I mean.
Yeah. No, they're looking at his face like, I'm not sure where she's going with this.
Hey, we just... I don't know. Have you ever been in a fight before?
Well, when I was a kid, so I'm sure.
Okay, well, now that you've got the tights, you're gonna have to get used to that prospect being a part of your life. I'm afraid to say. In fact, we just got out of a nasty scrap ourselves.
Oh, who did y'all run into?
Have you heard of the Headsman?
No, I can't say that I have. Some guy with a big axe.
Actually, yeah. Was it Resonant?
He had a scythe.
Oh, Scythe, actually. That's right.
Shitty fake scythe.
So this guy's a real jerk. He tried to kidnap me, and we barely fought him off, and then teleported back here. So now we got to figure out what we're going to do about him. I mean, who knows if he's going to be able to track us down here or not. He shot like some kind of energy. Did any of us get a sense of what kind of energy he was shooting out of his scythe?
The negative kind.
And he had armored flunkies too, like not like tech armor, more like brass Egyptian armor or brass or medieval armor. Is that correct? plate mail.
It was motif like that.
So yeah, it's kind of a problem we're dealing with right now.
He's looking at y'all over. What does Umudan look like right now?
He would have his wings out, but he's not dressed fancy.
His eyes, he looks over all of y'all. The architects in armor, Wolf Witch is in her hooded outfit. Umudan has got, wings currently. And his eyes just kind of come and rest on Slapshot.
Yo, what up?
Judging.
I'm just thinking one of these things is not like the other.
Oh, I'm magic. Don't worry.
You gotta look you up
Magic
and down.
stick and everything.
He has a fake hockey stick.
Fuck you mean fake? I've won 3 national championships. I mean, I'm not a real... whatever. I was retired years ago. Who cares? Anyway, I played hockey with this thing. It's a hockey stick.
Said like, it's okay, I don't keep up with hockey. I wouldn't have a clue who you are.
Damn!
Oh,
I mean, no offense. And he kind of, but he says it like he's distracted, like he's just talking while he's on autopilot, or while he's distracted. Because he kind of, it's like you see him kind of focus on you, and his eyes glow a little brighter. And then his eyes shift to the stick, and he kind of rears back. Whoa.
Please stop looking at the magic hockey stick. It doesn't ever appreciate it.
Word of advice, Seth. Never ever pick up any enchanted item that starts talking to you. It is never good news. Not that I'm saying that your hockey stick is planning on eating your soul. It's just my experience. That's all.
That's good advice, boss. What do you do when and he kind of holds the What do you do when the thing jumps out and hits you in the head?
Well, generally I try to find a way to break the curse, but I think you're possibly in a little bit deeper than just an evil artifact.
Yeah, you're kind of committed.
Also, the artifact's not evil. That's a bonus.
I don't know. It possessed his body. I consider that kind of, at least malignant.
We don't have enough information to make any real judgment calls on Iman's motivations at the moment. Unfortunate.
Other than he's real fucking selfish.
Ed serves the Cosmic Order.
It's all about the Cosmic Order, man.
So, what do you say, D? I mean, if nothing else, what don't you think we need to keep an eye on, Seth? Just for his going good. If not, everyone's good. I know from personal experience how scary it can be if you have, like, incredible powers and a superhero mantle, and then you have no one to guide you. It's not a great place to be.
Yes, Seth, I do believe that we should keep you under observation, at least for a little while. And perhaps help you learn to deal with your new capabilities.
and keep an eye on him on.
Cue the training montage.
Wrestling lessons.
Do any of y'all have the money to make like a robot suit thing to take over instead of him?
I'm not sure that's how this works, but
Kind of like a Pinocchio doll for him to shove that fucking soul into.
Slapshot is taking this very personally.
Very much so.
You don't take souls like that. It's just rude. You don't take souls till they're ripe and finished. I mean, what?
Buddy.
Well, I mean, the fair point is, it's clear that Seth hasn't had been aware enough to prepare for this lifestyle. That's for this vocation. She'll call it a vocation. That's it's not great. That's all the reason why I think it's important for us to come out.
He's like, no, I've always had an interest in the occult. It's why, It's why I tried getting a job here. But
You said you got a job here because you got fired from Kinko's for breaking a copy machine.
that's not untrue. But I was going to put in an application here anyway. And he's kind of wait a second. If y'all are superheroes, if you're a team, what's your name?
Do we actually call ourselves the Haunted?
I don't believe so.
Yeah, I don't know if y'all had come up with in game. I don't know if you'd come up with a name yet or not.
I don't think we have. We're going to workshop it.
Did I'll be honest, we formed like 2 weeks ago.
In the middle of a global crisis.
And in the middle of a war. It wasn't really our decision.
Oh, who decided to put y'all together then?
Oh, the Crucible, if you've ever heard of him.
You see his eyes get a little wide. Clearly, he has indeed heard of the Crucible.
Oh.
Yeah, calm down. He's a tool. Don't worry about it.
He's very judgmental and just kind of assumes that you murdered 4 people in cold blood, not that they were actually incredibly evil warlocks who were planning on sacrificing a small town, and it was self-defense.
He looked at my
one
hockey
second.
stick like he was going to ask it out on a date.
Seth is like, in my experience, most of your immortal magic types are pretty much D-bags.
Huh.
Alright, never mind, we're fine.
Present company excluded? Or are you just taking a rib at your boss?
He kind of looks at your boss. You're immortal?
Yeah.
It's a complicated affair. There are magics for this. Very complex, very difficult, somewhat icky magics, but I'm working on an easier way to... I've been around a while.
Imadana will fold his arms. I take offense to that, but it's true.
I feel attacked. Justifiably attacked, but attacked. As the architect stands back there, not revealing her age. Anna, has the architect been... Is she trying to be subtle as she starts flipping through books and touching stuff?
Yes.
Okay.
And she's not above pocketing something just to aggravate her. Or, move it around so she can't find it. Basically, she's in the back rearranging her books.
Yes!
Give me a stealth roll versus Wolf Witch's awareness.
Ah, yes. And now we've come to the rom-com section of our superhero. Hence we take another episode of Magic Seinfeld.
Just barely.
You look over and you catch her. You catch her taking some kind of chalice and hiding it back behind a like wooden chest. But you don't know how many things she hid before you noticed.
Are you 12? Is that your dark secret? You're a 12-year-old in an adult's body.
Oh, like the guy Captain Marvel.
I stay so young by having fun.
There's a little vein in Wolf Witch's forehead that y'all can start seeing just pulsate a little.
Are we about to test that immortality you brag about?
Boss, not to tell you your business, but some of the stuff down here is fragile. Maybe we should move this out of the,
Yes, everyone out of the basement, into the shop proper. I have cookies under the counter we can have. Move! No!
I thought libraries were open to all.
That's my library. Get out.
All right.
But what if you have more fake books you need uncovered?
I'll be
As Slapshot is leaving.
happy to go through them for you.
I have like 3 different demons offering me true immortality and fast power. I could just call 1 or 2 of them up and just solve all my problems at once. And she heads up the stairs after the architect is out of the basement.
Joke's on you if you accepted any of those deals. They'd be fake. Demons die just like the rest.
God damn it!
You know, when a demon says immortality, it probably just means longevity.
Yeah, pretty much.
You live as long as the demon lives.
All right.
They live a long time.
Depends what incarnation of the Lord they run into.
Anyway, you get upstairs. You fish the cookies out from under the counter.
They're clearly out of date.
They're in a turtle jar with a very suggestive
She's
rabbit
got
on
a
top.
college kid working for her. The cookies aren't going out of date. The box is only half full when she thought it was full, but they're not going out of date.
I just put these down here this morning. Seth!
He was body controlled. Don't blame him.
He goes,
Yeah,
"Oh,
it's eating,
Seth."
it's eating for 2. It's eating for 2.
It's awful.
Alright, so y'all talk some more with Seth. He eventually breaks off to go home. After
Did he
basically
say
asking,
not
you know,
about
all of
that?
y'all to help train him. Because he does not feel the least bit confident running out and trying to use his abilities right now. But and while he's not super happy about the situation, if he's needed for some purpose, he wants to be ready for it. But you know, y'all are clearly in the middle of something, so you know.
Yeah, maybe we don't bring Seth into the epic grudge match right off the bench.
Hey, rookie, get in there and fight this guy that slapped us all around.
Right.
Oh, he died.
Now did Seth have to be in Kids 3 can be reincarnated too?
I know.
Don't worry, another 18 years we'll be ready for another try. Alright, so what's left to your own devices? What is the team going to do?
We do still have the problem of the headsman.
Yes.
Wendy's really gonna hate to say this, but maybe we should call the Crucible to see if he knows what's going on with the Headsman. Or anything about the Headsman.
Yeah, I think it would be a good idea in general to just try to find out more about this. So yeah, the Crucible sounds like a good place to start. And he was nice to me, at least, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, she called him a tool, but you know, it was, other than maybe being a little bossy because there was an emergency and he was sending y'all off to take care of it.
Wait a moment. Slapshot says while thinking like a person with rational abilities. These guys were at a museum trying to steal a thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what you guys had found that out. Yeah, on the last session, because y'all went to make use of the object and found out it had already been attempted at its theft.
Shouldn't we go ahead and just report this to, Spear? That, there's a villain by the name of the Headsman leading these chumps?
I don't know how trusting of the man is the rest of the team.
Well, stealing shit, and the man doesn't like to have his shit stolen. So I assume they'll send some guns after it.
Oh, sure.
I'm going to assume that mystic orders / cults generally don't trust the government, and just on general principle.
Well,
I
no,
don't trust the government to protect me. I trust the government to shoot at people.
you're part of a millennials old cult. You've seen so many governments come and go,
That's fair. In that case, yeah, we should. We should share information. I guess we should share information about this at least.
The more people working on the case, the better, I suppose.
Mm.
All right, so who are y'all calling? Who are y'all contacting?
Unison would probably be the easiest person to get in touch with in terms of the government team, then.
No. Keep in mind, while you have the team,
There's the organization.
You have essentially an FBI-style organization under them, or something akin to S.H.I.E.L.D. So you wouldn't have a direct number to like a team member, but you could call their office and report something.
Right.
I wouldn't think Unison would be somebody we'd be able to easily contact.
Especially since we most likely wouldn't realize there's a Unison, just like a bunch of Power Rangers, 6 Power Ranger dudes that are make up half of a team.
But see, this is where the fun comes in. Because Unison has a legal contact.
Yep, the Power Rangers have their own.
We can call the office of Mr. Brain, and he can get in contact with Unison.
Yeah, I will say one thing I personally would like to see more is playing with the idea that the world thinks the Unison's like actually 6 different people or 5 different people.
Oh, it does. It's convinced it's the Power Rangers.
In fact,
hard work to make sure that shit works.
doesn't the rest of the Spear team think that too?
They eventually figured. Oh well, at least the core team from first season figured it out. I don't know if he shared it with the new guys or not. He's kind of paranoid.
Recluse knows, and the
Launch.
robot knows.
Oh, okay.
There were plenty of clues for the rest of the team, just from stuff that was happening, but he never came out and admitted it.
Yeah, I mean the ones that are in an alternate dimension and somehow Unison members are still teleporting in.
That's some good tech.
Oh, right.
Sit there and go, I don't know how I feel about this. I'm thinking there may be some magical component to this. Or something else weird.
I'm not sure why Unison needs, those other people on the team. It's like Team Unison and Spear.
And during the first season, everybody looked at him as a separate team. It was the Unknowns and Unison showing up to take care of stuff. And then both those teams got recruited into Spear after they stopped the toppling of the U.S. government.
So yeah, which one of us is going to contact Spear? Probably not Everlast.
Slapshot has the longest superhero resume.
Yeah.
That's true.
The Office of Jordan Brain. In an attempt to report information to Unison.
Okay.
And just so I understand, is Jordan Brain one of the Unison heroes? Or is that an actual person?
Alright, since we've done this story-wise, Unison is one person.
Right, I remember that.
Who is Jordan Brain.
Oh, he's okay. Gotcha.
He is his own legal advisor.
Thank
His
you.
identity was so super secret, none of us knew.
Well, that's the trick. He runs around with, 5 or 6 members of Unison?
There's 6 members, 1 for each letter.
Yeah. But he can actually produce, 2
never noticed
clones
that.
more than that.
Yeah, I can produce more, but I always run around with the exact number of Unison.
There was a
Until,
prison break in the first season where he called in everybody, and you had all these white-suited guys show up instead of the multicolor.
I called in the emergency response team. who literally only ever said the words, "Stand down." And they were all white and very, very bright and ran in and just started shooting people. And I literally had one of them have a discussion with Unit in front of them, talking about how the other team couldn't hack it.
Oh, gee.
Yeah,
Because I am devoted.
Each member has his own personality, particular personality. Where the main guy is actually like a Batman level paranoid.
Yeah, I was in my back of my head. I was, what if Independence Ray like found was like attracted to one of them and didn't realize that there's a whole thing going on. But anyway, yeah, something else occurs to me. We should probably look into like if there have been any known like superhuman abductions since Headsman tried to kidnap Everlast. I mean, if that's like their regular
that's a good idea.
modus operandi, that'd be worth looking to see if there is like a pattern of other notable like abductions or sudden disappearances of known superhumans.
Okay, so Slapshot is basically calling the office of Jordan Brain.
Yep.
And you're just kind of giving them their lowdown on what happened?
Yep, these dudes attacked, this location. In following them, we found an association with them and the Headsman. They attempted to kidnap, this
But they were
person
part of an
who has
organization, weren't they?
Wait, what?
They had a name for their group.
Oh, yeah, they did.
I'm not sure we got it.
Oh, we got a name of the Headsman's boss, or at least Everlast did. I can look that up. The Sphinx was his benefactor.
Which I think I gave you the wrong name on him.
Oh. I'm going to retcon it?
Yeah, Haruspex or something like that was his name. Haruspex.
Oh, okay, that sounds...
When I gave it to you last time, I looked at another different name on the list.
Yeah, the Haruspex. That'll be worth flagging with Spear.
And then was somebody going to call the Crucible?
Yeah, Wolfwoods will take care of that.
Okay. So you call the estate anyway that y'all were taken to last time. Someone immediately answers the phone, giving you the whatever the name was on the mailbox, essentially. So it's such and such estate. How may I help you?
Hello, this is Miss Trishik. We were there a few weeks ago to deal with the situation in the other world. There's a situation in our world. A gentleman that went by the name of the Headsman attempted to kidnap... Sorry, I have a cough. Attempted to kidnap Everlast. He and his organization seem to be targeting superhumans and other magically gifted people who are tied with various deities and gods. We were wondering if the Crucible or any of you lot have any information regarding these people.
Uh-huh. Let me put you on hold for a moment.
This is where Unison would go, they're probably in cahoots. We need to run.
So, you're put on hold. There's some, the music isn't like typical music or classic rock or something. It's kind of that the Chanting Monks that did an album.
Gregorian chanting?
Gregorian, thank you.
And one dude going mad ham on the pan flute.
A moment later, an older sounding gentleman gets on. Hello, ma'am. Glad to hear from you again. I was one of the adepts that helped out with the portal ritual last time you were here. I'm not sure that we actually spoke though.
I don't believe we did. We only really spoke at the Crucible. But you all did an excellent job on the portal, by the way.
Oh, and you did an excellent job on the other side. The Crucible is not here currently. He is off dealing with issues. However, you spoke of the Headsman. Did he look like? And he proceeds to describe the Headsman, the hood, the kind of leathery, leatherish body armor kind of thing, and the scythe and all that.
Yeah, that edgelord jackass. Yes, that person exactly.
We have had encounters with him. Well, we have investigated him. And you said he was trying to kidnap Everlast?
Yes.
That pretty well fits his MO. He seems to... there have been a couple of thefts of artifacts attributed to him. But generally, he seems to go after the divinely empowered. Magical creatures from another dimension that are living here, but mostly things tied to specific gods. Everlast is probably close enough to that to draw his attention. We're not sure what his purpose is. They seem to be abductions rather than straight out murders. At least initially. One or two bodies have been recovered much, much later. That had been, simply dumped somewhere.
So you have investigated the Headsman and his organization, but you haven't been able to do anything about it just yet.
Not overly aware of him having an organization.
He did seem to have some helpers at the very least. Men or, people in golden armor. It seemed partly mechanical? Or could we gather that they were partly mechanical suits?
No, I dissolved the suits. They were people.
Yeah.
That would be kind of the impression you would have gotten. Oh no, because these characters did not see the guy melt.
Right.
I think they saw the puddle, the rehardened puddle of golden metal with human bones sticking out of it, getting carted out. But
yeah.
And the ones you dropped.
In one case, literally.
Literally.
Yes. They fail.
She's so proud of herself.
The armor did come off that one guy. I thought they were all even.
Yeah. No,
yeah,
I was
that's
asking
true.
if
You transmuted one of the suits of armor to lead, and the guy managed to run off and basically tear himself out of it without any trouble, because once it was transmuted, it was almost like a lead foil. It was extremely thin. So, if you'd seen inside that, you might have gotten the impression that it was not something particularly magical. Yeah.
Gotcha.
But the fellow you're talking to is like, No, we've had one adept come into direct contact with him. In some sort of way, he was able to strip the man of his abilities for a short time.
He was able to cut him off from his magic.
Yes.
That's an unsettling thought.
We believe it is the scythe itself. We believe it's a magic artifact giving him his power.
Curious.
But he doesn't... He tends to simply appear, do what he's going to do, and get out. We only managed, one of our investigators really just tripped across him on accident. We were investigating some ne'er-do-wells, I suppose you would say, that they had been causing a problem with their abilities. We were beginning to investigate them. And the headsman showed up and simply cut his way through them and took, the one he wanted, I suppose. The adept that had them under observation tried to intercede. They had been up to no good, but they did not deserve to be slaughtered like they were.
Yes, he didn't strike me as the most subtle of sorts. Scythe being magical. Slapshot said that they referred to the scythe as a fake. I assume this is something that his own talking magical hockey stick told him. So...
I'm fairly certain the scythe is real and quite powerful. So I couldn't tell you what the hockey stick could be referring to.
Never trust a talking artifact.
If you find out any more information about the headsman, please pass it along, and we'll do the same courtesy.
Oh, of course. We've been given instructions to cooperate with you as much as we can, at least as far as information.
Oh, lovely! Finally getting the respect I deserve.
Well, you did help save the world. That goes a long way. And the fact that you're finally doing something positive. And then he kind of catches himself. Well, it's been very nice helping you. If you need anything else, please don't hesitate to call back.
You too. And if you're ever in town, please stop by. I'm going to be doing a fantastic sale on incense in the next few weeks.
Oh, keep that in mind. Though, he's down in Savannah, Georgia, so
Indeed. You always got to be selling.
Oh yeah. You are a business person. All right, Taylor.
Yo, what up?
So Slapshot's going to call Unison. Do you actually want to carry on this conversation? Are you going to sit here and talk to yourself? I'm fine with it
down.
If you want to, if you've got an idea for it, or we can just go you info dump to Bahrain and go on about our business.
I guess we'll just go ahead and call it at the ring, ring, ring. Hello, this is the Office of Jordan Brain. How can I help you? Hi, yes. My name's Slapshot. I'm a superhero from the Georgia area. Just need to report something to Unison, please. You're calling from Georgia to report to Unison. Well, it's for Spears, sir. Oh, okay, hold on. Let me get a piece of paper and a pencil. And Unison now is holding three pencils and 3 pieces of paper. Because you always want to get things in triplicate. Alright, go ahead. So there was a... what location was that magical... The attempted theft by those robot suits at?
That was in Shreveport.
Thank you. There's attempted robbery in a museum at Shreveport by quasi-magic armored suits. Led by a supervillain or magical dude. I'm going to consider him a supervillain due to his actions. Fair enough. Called the Headsman. Okay, yeah, one moment. Unison goes to a book, opens up. Headsman. Magic, nullification powers, wields the scythe of death.
Now, how would he have all this information?
Well, he's part of the government team now. They've got all kinds
of... The Headsman has not been super public, though.
Doesn't sound like he's been super discreet, either, if he runs up and starts mowing through a team of superpowered folk to grab one.
I'm not sure Unison would have, or that Spear would have a list of his abilities, though.
Alright, sorry. Known superpowered murderer.
Yeah. I'll say that they've called his name, at least.
Fair enough. Alright. And the specifics of the headsman, and sharing the fact that he has some kind of power nullification, unknown range, but it appeared to be visual, and that, would like him to be put on some kind of list by Spear if possible. And, Spear to keep an eye out for him as he is upping his actions lately. And Unison will go, all right. Having written more stuff down for his book to tuck away in all supervillains I'll ever need to know about. The hopefully ever decreasing list. Thank you for your time, sir. Is there anything else you would like to add? No, thank you. Okay, cool. They both hang up.
All right. Where did Slapshot call from?
His burner phone.
Okay.
His phone that he only ever calls for Slapshot things.
Okay. But from inside the magic shop?
Yes.
Okay.
You bastard!
You didn't tell me I couldn't.
Well, I'm just thinking, as paranoid as Unison is, he probably tracks incoming calls. So while he might not be able to go, he was in this magic shop, he could go, well, it was using this cell tower, which is in this part of this town.
Ah, but there's my secret. Unison will always know everything. Because Unison is a character that I will probably use in every team ever eventually.
He'll become the Wolverine of the Nerd Eternal Icons universe.
Okay, I'm here. Weren't you just in Australia? Yeah, I'm fine.
That was a copy. That was a copy. See, it's so easy.
So I talked to you the other day, and you seemed like really out of it. Were you okay? Oh, that was a copy of a copy. They're just not as sharp. All right, so you've gathered a little. You've passed on information to the government, and you have gathered some information from the Crucibles organization. How do you wish to proceed with your own investigation? Not everybody.
We need to buy a billboard that calls him a little bitch and demands he fight us.
You know what? Why not?
Now I'm just thinking of the Haunted pulling off a wrestling promo.
Yeah, that's.
We're coming for you, Headsman.
That's just asking for like a big public brawl where there's a lot of collateral damage, don't you think?
We're coming for you, Headsman.
This Monday at Madison Square Gardens.
Could Everlast, let's see, what would Everlast do to potentially...
Special guest referee, Anubis.
Whoa, not that. Can we still investigate look for patterns of superhuman disappearances? Is that something? Is that something we could ask?
Absolutely.
Is that something we could ask Unison to do? Should we pursue that on our own?
In all likelihood, the government would conduct its own investigation. Well, certainly they would accept any information from you. You sitting there and going, "Hey, could y'all look into this for us?" That's not quite how they work.
Oh.
Private investigators can't call up the FBI and, "Hey, could y'all research this for me and get back with me?"
Yeah, makes sense.
But don't worry. If Unison runs to the Headsman, I'm sure he'll call.
All right. Let's see. And the Adept had mentioned abductions to Wolfwitch, but didn't mention anyone specific to the Adept.
He would probably have at least texted her a file, sent her a file or something. If she's got a computer.
Mm-hmm.
You do.
Do we suspect if if the headsman's targeting people with connections to specific deities, wouldn't Seth be a nice juicy new target for him? I mean, he must have some ability to detect beings like us, or beings like me, people like me. Is it possible that? Well, shoot, they could be after Seth right now, for all we know.
It is perfectly logical to assume that if Everlast is a target, that Seth would be a target. If they knew about him. Keep in mind, Everlast has been running around for just a little bit here, and you really just seem to have run into him by accident.
Oh, the headsman. Okay, I see. That's a fair. So it wouldn't. We don't necessarily have to worry about him having like an instant, deity, divinely powered alert notification or anything.
Yes, he's not walking around with some sort of god dar where he just pings anytime he walks by something. Oh, that one's divinely empowered.
He just watches the news till someone says to the son of Zeus, and he just shows up.
Right.
That hero's calling himself Heracles. Let's investigate. No.
Oh no, it's actually Heracles! Run away! Run away!
No, gotta know your limitations.
But maybe we should have someone watching over Seth at all times somehow.
If only
I
this
volunteer.
Well, shoot, maybe, or even I don't know. Even I could crash on a couch or something there because
was that the architect volunteering?
It was the architect volunteering.
Oh,
Slapshot slowly looks at watch. I guess this is a bad time for me to tell y'all I don't need to sleep or breathe, isn't it?
Wait, you don't need to what?
Nothing. I mean,
Well, guess who just got volunteered for the job?
I don't know. The architect seemed to want to.
She is not going anywhere near my delightful young employee.
Not your property.
You're starting to be obsessive about your fresh new boy. I'm getting worried.
That's what I'm thinking too. There's something going on.
It's like two cougars are growling at each other. I don't know what's going on.
oh dear.
Even to maintain youth?
No, I do not do human sacrifices. That went out in the 1750s. Ignore that. No, there's nothing going on there. Very much the wrong tree.
About that time, your cell phone rings, Wolfwitch, rather.
Warwick's her cousin. Really freaking intense.
Always on the creatine.
And, yeah, Wolfwitch.
I don't know what Taylor's reference is. The name Warwitch, for me, comes from the old City of Heroes comic. And then they eventually put her in the game. After she died.
Yeah, Wolfwitch will answer her phone.
Hey, boss. When you said you had an encounter with people with golden armor. Did you drop one off a building?
I didn't specifically.
Okay, well, it's on the news. Is the only reason I'm asking.
Well, yes, that did occur.
Okay, well, I'm just gonna let you know you're on the news then.
Oh, lovely. Great.
He landed on a car.
Someone should have worn a silly hockey suit.
Mm-hmm.
We should turn on the news. Did they talk about how heroic we were?
Yeah. Tune into WEXPOSITION.
So you flip on the news. It's a report coming out of New York.
That's where we were.
Yes, because up till now, y'all had not known where that building was.
Right.
You'd been teleporting around. The news crew had arrived a little late. Everything seemed to be over when they got there, but they got there soon enough that you still had the armored figure laying in the car. They pan up the building where you can see the part of the little balcony kind of area where the chunk is missing. They filmed the fact that witness reports say it just suddenly turned to, it's like it just turned to sand, and well, no one saw it turn to sand. Sand started raining down, and when people looked up, there was that gap and that golden figure going. There was reports of some kind of flames up there. Basically, you have no eyewitnesses that really saw the fight. They were all 20 stories down on the ground, kind of looking up. Imudan's wings got spotted when he got close to the edge at some point, and probably some stray blasts, because I know one of the buildings got blasted, and a little bit of the surface material fell off. But that gives you what city you were in. It gives you the address of the building. Local police came in and began searching the building. Agents of Spear showed up. Not the heroes, the investigators and that sort of thing. The little bridge area connected 3 different buildings. Each of those buildings, of course, had multiple businesses in them. None of the businesses had a clue what was going on.
So they say.
There was no camera footage covering the outside of the buildings itself. Because you're 20 stories up, there's, your common burglary isn't going to be coming out in that manner. When they tried to move the golden figure that had fallen, the suit began bubbling and melting, and and they reference a similar incident in Shreveport, Louisiana. They even have an image of it, but it's part of it's blurred out, where they don't show the human bone sticking out. And that is, they talk to some of the witnesses and stuff. That's really all the solid information they've got. Clearly it was something superhuman going on. But nobody got a good enough look at any of you to identify individual people that were involved.
So we know that Headsman has a connection to these buildings somehow, because that's where he took Everlast.
Either that or connections to an airship. That was the tallest building he knew of.
It's New York. It's not the tallest building by any means.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, fair enough. Well, hold on. New York the state or New York the city?
New York the city.
Oh, okay.
Well, we pass this. I guess one of you'll just text this information to the Crucible's address, or the number I called.
Okay. You get a thumbs up in reply.
Wait.
So Amadon, you're thinking that if we investigate what's around the site of our last fight, we might find some connection to the Headsman?
It would seem to be our only clue.
Yeah, I mean that couldn't have been just a random choice. If there was an airship op, I mean, I would imagine, then maybe we'd know to at least to look into like air traffic reports if there are any like UFO that could have been the Headsman airship. So if nothing else, I think that sounds like a good idea to investigate that location. You're right. It couldn't have just been some random spot.
So, am I going to be on baby watch? Are you going to go to that?
Probably. Part of me says we should take Seth along, just so we don't divide the team and we still have him under observation.
I'm all for that because he's got blessing and curse power. It's got to be helpful.
Well,
I mean,
and Seth is now divinely empowered, so his new code name could be Bait.
Well, I may have a friend who's also divinely empowered. I could call for Bait.
A friend?
Yeah, I've worked with him a few times. He'd be great for y'all.
I'm not sure I like how you're saying these words.
Well, he's blessed by 3 gods?
3.
Kind of?
It's a lot of blessing.
Well,
Kind of.
One's a curse, but still.
At least check in on your friend to make sure he's not captured or whatever it is.
You see Slapshot go up to a corner and do. Hey, Rocker, how you doing? Alright, cool. Anything weird happen lately? Alright, thanks, buddy. Okay, he's fine.
And I think he can take care of himself.
Yeah, he's also game to join up if you need me on Baby Watch. He apparently hasn't had much action lately and his sales are down.
Oh, I see.
His sales are down?
His sales are always down.
So I mean, like he's a performance artist.
He tries.
I'll see whoever else has never heard of him because I don't think she would have had much time for pop culture in her. But yeah, so are we bringing Seth with us, or are we gonna babysit him? I feel like he. Oops, sorry. I would feel like he should come with us because yeah, that way we don't have to worry about. Well,
Everlast just wants somebody less experienced on the team. No, I'm not the newbie.
Yeah, it would probably still be safest just to bring him with us.
With this kind of overtime?
Oh, you tell jokes. You're adorable.
Next thing you know, we'll be talking about living wages and other crazy.
I haven't used him in any experimentations. That's his living wage.
He gets a wage, he gets to live. I don't see what the problem is.
There of us have any kind of investigative background.
Not over much, but
I'm athletic and I fight monsters. That's about my limits.
That's basically my deal too, but I know some of us are smart. That should count for something.
Yeah, at the very least, you can make intelligence rolls, even if you don't have investigate specialty.
Yeah.
All right. So, how are y'all wanting to proceed from here?
We're all apparently going to take a trip to New York.
Are any of us good at researching, the mundane world? Because my character, even though he pointed out that building is our only clue, would have no idea. I mean, he probably doesn't even know how to use a computer. He might, but I doubt it.
Yeah, I'm thinking like Jason alluded to, we're just gonna have to count on general superhero Smart,
Well,
smart of everything.
Seth might be our best researcher.
Right. That's true. Well, let's get him over here.
All right, so who calls Seth?
Oh, Wendy will, I guess.
Oh, well, she's probably the only one with his number.
It should be the boss, yeah.
Yeah, boss.
Hi, Seth. Could you come on down to the shop real quick? We have a situation we need your help.
Okay.
And
I'm gonna clock in when I get there, though.
we'll talk about it. And she hangs up.
Okay. In a surprisingly short amount of time, he is back at the shop.
Well, he was probably walking home when we called him.
No, that was long enough ago. He had gotten home and had seen y'all on the news. I mean, he lives relatively close by, but
It was still a little bit too quick.
Must be practicing those flight skills.
he comes in with a big smile on his face.
Yep.
Emadan will ask Wolfwitch, so do we have any more of these cookies?
Mhm.
There's some more upstairs in the fridge. There's a 6-pack of beer in there too. Grab it, bring it on down.
Oh, I don't drink on the job.
You should.
You're a precious little Boy Scout, aren't you?
We all doing this. Seth walks in, takes out the time card.
Slapshot slowly thinks to himself, "As I see your soul suffer in the depths of hell, I shall laugh."
Jesus Christ!
Slapshot got issues.
Slapshot sometimes says things that aren't Slapshot things.
All right. So Seth is on hand. What are you wanting him to do?
Assist in research regarding the history of that building. Basically, when it was built, who it was built by.
And who has a business there?
Right.
Yes.
Okay, it was built in the mid '80s. He names off the architectural firm that built it, and the building has never been full. There was kind of through that time period there was kind of a glut of office space in New York. But it got a few decent sized businesses in there. Currently, there's a couple of computer firms that have some office space there. There are several financial firms in one of the towers. There is a charity set up in one of them. I mean, not taking up the whole tower, but you get this whole list of stuff that. Is there anything particular that would stick out to you?
I suppose anything with supernatural or divine connotations to it.
Yeah,
or even
faith-based organizations.
Yeah.
The charity is faith-based.
Oh,
it is kind of an interfaith setup. They do charity work on a global scale.
Does it have a name?
Interfaith Global. Let's see what would be Interfaith Global Ministries. Will make it sound more like it was a church itself.
Yeah, I'd like to know more about that organization.
They
Yeah, Global. Interfaith Global Ministries. Crap, I'm trying to think of something to make it sound like the actual charity work they do. But
what were the name of the soldiers? There was a name.
The Sword Saints.
yeah, they
The
were
Sword
referred to as
Saints.
Sword Saints.
They rattled off about raising humanity or something like that.
That's right. It sounded like they were mortals who
very
wanted to be
fanatic
immortal.
about it.
Right. Like they wanted to achieve godhood for themselves.
Did
And they seem to.
But did your characters pick up on that, or was that the psychic from? Was that the psychic alien that got that information?
Pretty sure it was the alien.
So these characters are not aware of that.
Oh, I thought maybe Headsman said something along those lines too, but maybe not.
I can check my notes, but let's see. We could look at the website of IGM to see if there's any kind of some kind of Scientology uplift of the human spirit kind of verbiage that would kind of hint at that kind of mission, perhaps.
Yeah.
Want to be a god in 15 minutes or less?
Exactly. Like the comic book ads kicking Sam in the face.
What the Headsman had told Everlast was, when she asked him if he was a villain, was that he and his group were working for the benefit of humanity.
Mm-hmm.
It may have made some comment about why worship gods when you could be gods or something. Something where you might have picked up that vibe from it. But did not just come right out and say it.
Sure.
But we don't see anything. None of these companies or organizations seem to be for the benefit of humanity. It's all financial law firms, I'm assuming, because there's a law firm in every freaking building.
Yes, there would probably be a few. There'd probably be a couple of law firms at least. Like I said, a lot of financial institutions. On the ground floor of one of the towers is an actual bank.
Who owns the buildings?
You get the name of whoever it is. They own several of the large buildings, in New York. Researching them, nothing suspicious comes about them specifically. If you look up the let's see, the Interfaith Global Ministries or whatever, the IGF or IGM. They were founded 10-ish years ago. Doing charities local to where they were founded, and then expanding off and doing some stuff in India, some stuff in Africa, and then they spread. They moved over, start doing more work in South America. Until now, they're kind of all over the place. It's not a huge group, but it's getting gradually a little larger.
And is there any rhetoric like the kind I was suppositioning?
What now?
Did it have the kind of rhetoric I was theorizing about? Like something that sounds like it could be, PR speak for, humans can become gods kind of mission?
There's a lot of talk about uplifting humanity.
Mm-hmm.
But it always seems to be in the context of helping raise the destitute, or there's a lot of things about economic equality and pulling up the helping the third world rise up a little bit closer. Kind of the ideal that it would benefit everybody being lifted up would benefit everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, it connects with Christian churches, of quite a variety, Islam, Hinduism. Wherever they go, they are quick to work with local religious organizations
So it could still fit the profile, but no smoking guns.
No, there's nothing blatant.
Yeah.
No flashing neon sign.
The only flashing neon sign is that they work with the local.
With all denominations, right?
A church and an Islamic group, a Christian church and an Islamic group working together should be benign, but local churches tend to be against that idea.
Well, it does seem to be the first real lead we have.
It does.
It is the only
We
one
could
of
also
these.
go there and investigate, see if, okay, maybe it was just being used as a pit stop because a ley line runs through it or something, so it was easy to make a portal to and from it.
Oh, well.
That is something for the Mystics to investigate.
Yeah. Maybe do a web search to see if there are predominant conspiracy theories surrounding the
Seth, when Seth was doing his checks, nothing like that came up. Nothing really flagged it. He really just gave y'all the list, and y'all kind of looked down. Well, that one sounds like it might fit. It's the only thing that seemed to have any religious connotations. Nothing there seemed to have any kind of mystical connotations, particularly. But y'all go ahead and plot out how y'all want to approach this place. I will be right back.
Oh, there's the mystic geography possibility. Occultists could look into that.
That's not. I mean, it seems unlikely that they would teleport from another realm to this building just to be picked up by an airship, but you never know.
And then after that,
there are places in this realm that have connections to other dimensions and other realms. So,
right.
Yeah. Would seem like the best bet would be just to go there in person as civilians, so we don't, immediately catch a lot of attention. Because, it's one thing if a group of tourists show up; it's another if a group of people in costumes and battle armor show up and start poking around the side of a recent superhero throwdown.
Yeah, do we even want to try to go undercover? Is that a possibility? Like showing up as like I don't know, philanthropists or undercover as like or volunteers or something.
We could have.
It's definitely a lines then kind of planned, right?
Yeah.
We could pretend that, he did mention that several, these buildings are not filled to capacity. We could pretend to be a business wanting to, looking for some office space. Or if we wanted to put our, necks online, we could, a divine organization, office space.
Is there a way for the try to find out if there's like some kind of like mystic convergence of energy at that location?
Anybody that wants to give me an occult roll.
I'm just pretty much an occult neophyte, so I imagine either Architect or Wolfwitch would be the ones to check that out.
You would think those two would get along better.
Yeah, Architect can't really occultish. Just claps and does her thing.
Magical stuff was done to her.
Oh.
Less than she studies it. She doesn't do actual magic. She was turned into a living philosopher's stone, which lets her transmute stuff.
I see.
And gives her immortality and, or what have you. All right, Wolf Witch. The rest of you see Wolf Witch starts pulling out charts and maps and of the U.S. And there's weird lines drawn all through the maps. While there is certainly some ley lines that run through New York, nothing that bisects this building or even comes particularly close to it.
Well, that theory's a wash. But I feel like we should investigate this IGN just a little bit.
Well, and we could just go as New Yorkers through the buildings also and just see if something gets our attention.
I bet an organization like that would love a rich sponsor.
Well, I mean, I have money, but I'm not exactly rich.
You're broke, shut up.
What did you say to me?
I didn't stutter. Y'all, you can pretend to be my staff, I guess.
What do you mean your staff? Oh, I suppose you have money. Let me guess, you turn lead into gold and just feed it into the economy a little bit at a time.
Well, at first it wasn't really a little bit at a time, but I eventually learned not to do that.
Wait. I know who you are. Son of a bitch!
What, do you really know? No, you don't!
You're the Philosopher's Stone person. Would you gotta donate a limb for mystical research?
I will figure out how to transmute living things, and you will be my first project.
Where's all of this hostility coming from? I thought we were getting along great.
You just threatened to use one of my limbs for whatever nefarious purposes.
From what I understand, it grows back.
I don't know if I want to be around
You humans are so quiet. I mean, I don't think science is a nefarious purpose.
Seth is sitting over the edge. It is the expanding of human knowledge.
Yeah, expanding knowledge.
Seth, don't help people with limb removals. That's how you become a supervillain.
I mean,
Fair enough.
he's not wrong.
Oh, trust me, we'll find out through this venture I rarely am.
Alright.
How are y'all moving?
This delightful person does have an excellent ideas of approaching IGN as a rich patron looking to donate to the organization.
Y'all okay with this?
Because of
Sure.
mutual interest, or you're looking for a tax break, or
Both.
he's and the sad thing is, Imodan would just have to be using words he's seen on TV.
He doesn't know what a tax break is, but he knows it's something rich people would use charities for.
Well, great. I will get my people to schedule us an appointment and get my jet ready.
As far as he understands, taxes are just something evil thing. It's just an evil thing humans do to each other.
All right, so your people have no trouble getting an appointment sometime within the next couple of days. You'll have to find a way to get to New York, but that's not, like, you could teleport, you could rent a plane, plane tickets, whatever you want to do.
Well, I mean, she probably has a plane. She has a house in the Hamptons.
And private jets are tax deductible now.
Are they?
That was one of the first things Trump did.
I didn't know that.
Wow. I'm not
I'm not surprised at all, but yeah, I'm like, wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's one of the first big things that passed was with all the new tax stuff. We got the 0.2% back, and then a whole bunch of other stuff got in the tax deductible range, including but not limited to private planes.
Huh.
That just did not show up on my Form 10EZ.
I think my tax person may have missed that as well. All right.
Well, remember to deduct it next time.
All right. So y'all head to New York, however y'all want to do it. Private jet sounds like a good way to do it, as you're essentially leaving a paper trail.
I think
to come
that
off as
since
legit if this
cats,
place checks you out.
I think that since cats were worshipped, I'm pretty sure having a cat should be tax deductible. She should count as a dependent.
But so we're all going to New York.
All right.
Yep.
Are y'all taking Seth with you?
Wolfwitch votes yes.
So does
Well,
Everlast.
so she's his boss. I think, if she's okay with it.
Seth, do you feel like going to New York for a completely weird task that will probably put you in immediate danger?
When are we going?
Give me a minute. The Slapshot walks over to a corner again, dials phone. Hey, Auntie P. Yeah, can you watch the house? Yeah, it's mask stuff. I'll be gone a couple weeks.
But Seth, this is one of the largest cities on this planet.
Well, it's
All
just,
right.
I got classes, so I want to know
Think of-
when I got to miss. And
Think of the food and drink and people there.
yeah,
How
it would
much
be a neat place to visit.
Think of the smells.
He just kind of looks at you on that one. Girl's cute, but she's a little weird. It's kind of what his face says. But so yeah, he agrees to go. You get a appointment for a few days from now.
And when we get there, first thing Imadan does is wrinkle his nose. Like, this smells like San Francisco. It's like piss in the streets.
You got the one guy standing in the alleyway taking a whiz on the wall. Hey, I'm offended by that.
Hey,
Alley, it's not pissing the street.
mind your own business.
So yeah, so y'all load up and go. I assume everybody's in appropriate clothing to look like business people's.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might need to do laundry somewhere. Since I've been on, I have been living on the streets, so probably get to freshen up my
If you need
wardrobe.
me to, I can get you a suit. She
Seth
looks at
certainly
Wolfwitch.
takes you up on that. He hasn't had a proper suit in a while.
Apart from his super suit, of course.
Yeah. That's a super suit. That's not a proper suit.
Right.
Before you depart the plane, however, you see him over there looking in the mirror, and he starts chanting and moving his hands around. And when he turns back around, he has a slightly different appearance.
He besides the costume.
Well, he's still wearing the same same kind of business suit that the architect got for him. He just changed. His face looks a little different.
Oh, okay, so this is what he looks like under the super suit.
No, you saw that while you were flying with him. No, he just got up and changed his appearance.
Oh, okay. Oh.
Basically just an extra layer of disguise, so he's not immediately picked out of.
Right. Wolfwitch, you pick up on the fact that he basically got up and did a spell.
Ah! Have you been reading my books whenever you're supposed to be working? The real books.
Not while I'm supposed to be working, but like on breaks and stuff. And I've got some of my own. There's a reason I wanted a job with you.
I can't really be mad at you. I'm honestly genuinely impressed.
And you recognize that it's a low-level spell. It's nothing about that screams to you that he's at a superhero level as far as the magic goes. But he's clearly got a little bit of skill. Because I just figured, some kind of mask. Since we walk into a building that's probably got security cameras, these could be guys that'd be after me, according to y'all.
It is an easy trick. And, when Imadan says it, all of a sudden he looks like East Indian. But it's the same person.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Seth doesn't, he doesn't change his size. He doesn't change his, ethnicity or anything. It's, the hairstyle's different, and the facial features are just a little different. Slapshot.
Yo, what up?
Are you going to walk around with your face out?
Unfortunately. I'm gonna have a pair of sunglasses on and have a suit like gonna look like security, but other than that.
Okay. So as you proceed into the office, let's see.
What does the architect look like in her civilian identity?
I don't remember. But she can change the way she looks, so just kind of whatever, I guess.
I didn't know if she had like a well-known public identity or not.
I mean, not really. She's just kind of reclusive. Let me see if I wrote any.
Wealthy but reclusive.
Does she have a large cave up under her house?
Well, I'm just saying she's not like in the news doing dollars and stuff.
Yeah. She's
But I
like
don't have
most
anything
actual rich people in the real world.
What is with you two today?
Aww.
You're paying
The
attention to
dog
things
and
that aren't
cat
them.
just keep taking turns climbing on me.
You're like a mountain. You're there, so you must be climbed. Alright, so y'all are led out onto this, out of the elevator into this area kind of here. You've got a receptionist desk here. And, you see kind of office worker looking folks. They're walking around. People are making phone calls. You see people having meetings in offices. There's 2 receptionist chairs. You only see the one receptionist there right now. She's talking on the phone. She gives you kind of a just 1 second. And she finishes up the phone call, hangs up, looks up at the alchemist, or the architect. Yes, can I help you?
Yes, I'm here for the 3:30 appointment.
And what was the architect's actual name?
Sybil.
Is that a first name or a last name?
I'm checking.
It was Sybil Pittman.
It's Pittman.
All right. Ah, Miss Pittman, yes. And she kind of looks at your your large entourage. But doesn't really say anything.
I offer no explanation.
All right. She's like, wait just one moment, and let me see if Mr. Freeman is available. He should be wrapping up a meeting. I'll buzz him and check. And she does something on the phone. Sir, your 3:30's here. Oh yes, okay.
Pulls out his wallet, looks at his ID, closes his ID, puts his wallet back up.
Did we hear of like a Mr. Freeman in our initial research?
No, you didn't get like a full list of the people that work here. When the architect made her appointment, she knew it was going to be an appointment with a Mr. Freeman.
Okay.
So she marches you back to, or she says, "Please follow me, ma'am." And she takes you to one of the corner offices. Kind of down here. There's 3 seats in front of the desk. As you're walking in, let's see. Just 1 second while I check something. Okay. As you walk in, he's just shaking hands with whoever it was he was talking to before. Fellow, middle ages. He's got a walking stick.
Is anybody we recognize?
Let's see. Does anybody have anything where they're tied to high society? I don't think any of you would, because the architect is kind of a homebody.
I definitely do not.
Nah.
By any chance, is he a supervillain?
Not that you know of, no.
Okay. Because it was who I was thinking it was for a moment. Slapshot might have known about him.
Who were you thinking it was?
I was thinking it was Hindsight for just a second.
Oh, no. Middle age, not old.
Okay.
Hindsight was an old man.
Hindsight is an old man.
This guy, his hair is starting to go gray, but he still looks like he's fairly fit. As he leaves, he does not. He doesn't really look like he needs the walking stick particularly. But
More of a fashion accessory.
Yeah, basically, it's like he's going for kind of a distinguished look or something. Okay, so Imudan changed his appearance. The architect did not, but usually wears a helmet. Wolfwitch did not, but usually has a hood up. Does she wear a mask under the hood?
It's some grease paint.
Okay, she basically does like a line across her eyes and has the hood up.
Yeah.
Everybody give me awareness checks. Versus his... I'm going to say that's a willpower based. Alright, so 9, 12... Alright, gotta beat a 9. Architect beat a 9. Slapshot beat a 9. Wolfwitch did not. And Everlast did not. Everlast really didn't. And Imadon did not. So, Everlast rolls a natural 1. You are just taken in by the view out of this corner office. You've been in some apartment buildings and stuff, but you've never really been in one this tall. And it's looking out over the New York skyline. And it's just really kind of neat and just catches your attention. Imadan, it's a combination of, it's a nice skyline. This is a very nicely furnished, You're noticing lots of stuff, but it's kind of the environment you're in that you're noticing.
Yeah, he's pretty much infatuated by 3D earthly pleasures, so he might be overcome by New York.
Ooh, look at the leather on these seats. It was a high quality cow you killed for this. Slapshot. You notice he kind of looks at Everlast as he's walking out. But you think it's a middle-aged dude. He's looking at the youngest woman in the room. Shocking. The architect, on the other hand, while the guy is masking his emotions pretty well, you see his eyes widen slightly when he sees her. In obvious recognition and surprise.
Ah, son of a bitch, it's him.
But he doesn't say anything. He just turns towards the door. He kind of steps aside, lets y'all in. Nods to you all politely, and leaves the room.
Well, we may be in the right place.
But only the architect knows, or suspects. Mr. Freeman is, he stood up, he was standing up to shake this guy's hand. He comes around the desk and takes Mrs. Pittman's hand. Oh, Miss Pittman, it's so glad to meet you. I'm so glad that you're interested in helping us help others. Please, have a seat.
And she does so?
Can I get, would you like refreshments? Can I get something for you or your entourage?
No, I think we're good. Thank you, though.
Oh, certainly. So he sits down behind the desk and immediately pretty quickly launches into what the organization is for, what it is they're trying to do, how much a donation from you would help, and how it would help so many people, and the specifics of you've got some say as to where your money is allotted. It seems like probably his fairly typical spiel. As you're obviously interested in donating, and he's trying to kind of reel you in. How are you going to try to pump this guy for information, or what are y'all going to try to do?
Not real sure how to word it, because, it's not really my strong point. I would kind of mention about how it appears that they don't really need donors, that they seem to, have someone that's
Bankrolling?
Yes.
Well, we have many donors already, donors all over the world. And he starts naming off, Saudi princes and tycoons from Dubai and politicians from India. He drops names that truthfully, a lot of them probably don't mean anything to the architect if she's not into that kind of thing. But it sounds very impressive.
And she's going to ask who that fine gentleman was, with emphasis on fine. I mean, not like nasty, just,
Who's that?
kind of showing where her interest is.
Walked out that door.
She's not licking her lips as she says it.
Oh, that was Mr. Vanderbyle? B-Y-L. How would you pronounce that?
Vanderbilt?
I would think Vanderbilt, but maybe.
Vanderbilt? Yeah, that probably works.
Vanderbly?
Vanderbilt.
You're dancing awfully close to some real rich people, too, so, just be careful.
That was Mr. Vanderbilt. His employer is one of our larger donors.
So was it Vanderbilt who gave Everlast the eye? or was it Mr. Freeman?
It was Vanderbilt.
Oh, okay. Oh,
But he looked like he looked like a middle-aged rich guy. So him staring at a college student wouldn't be, or college student age person wouldn't have been shocking.
Creepy,
Slapshot
but
noticed
not
that was kind of what he
shocking.
assumed. But the architect, she's watched people longer. She picked up on it.
I mean, what's he do for his fortune? What's his interest in your organization?
Well, Vanderbilt is, like I said, an employee. His employer. Let's see. He probably wouldn't call him business tycoon, but his employer owns several businesses. Mostly in manufacture and production and research into technologies, lots of computer stuff, some genetic research, I think. I'm not much of a science major myself, but I know at least one of his companies produces a lot of electronics. Not so much the fully developed product, but like pieces that other people use in their products, kind of thing. Circuit boards and whatnot, I assume. But he's been very helpful in helping IGM, grow and spread the love, as it were.
I'm sure he's a charming, generous man.
Yeah, well, I've never actually met his employer, but yes, Vanderbilt is quite the nice fellow. But anyway, do you have any questions about the organization or what we do here that you would like to ask?
With so many wealthy donors, to support you spreading the love, I see a lot of people, a lot of humans in need. He probably would say that.
Well, yes, there's. While we get large donations from some of our crap, I completely blanked the word now. Donors.
Donors?
Yes, thank you.
That's where donations come from.
Yes, I know. I also work third shift. Leave me alone. While we have many donors, and some of them are quite generous, there are just so many people in the world in need. And he does not seem particularly taken aback by your throwing the word human in there. But you said you made yourself look Indian, so he may just be thinking, all right, English may not be his first language.
Right.
Listen, I'm gonna be honest with you, sir. I've recently had a near-death experience, and I've become pretty religious in my time recently. I was wondering if your organization has, any proof that they're closer to the divine than another organization.
Closer to the divine than another organization.
Yes, that. I stumbled. I was running out of air.
I just like the end because it sounds like you're a vampire. You're closer to the divine.
Well, we here at IGM, we don't really push or promote any religion over any other. Our purpose is to get people of all faiths to work together, to better society. While we may disagree on many things, things like helping the poor and helping the sick are pretty universal. And we here just feel we should focus on uplifting our fellow man.
Interesting choice of words.
Oh, which ones?
Uplifting our fellow man, but that's neither here nor there.
But if you're asking for proof of the deific, it's
The divine.
you kind of have to have it's a matter of faith in pretty much all faiths. I mean, you have some costume folks running around claiming this or that. I believe there was a Heracles running around in the Second World War, But it all depends if you just take them at their word or...
I see.
I personally feel such claims should be investigated more closely.
Yes, no doubt. Your goals are, honestly quite beautiful.
Oh, well, thank you.
How... I'm honestly kind of new to this donation thing. Help me out.
And he starts pulling out papers and kind of showing you, how they divide up your money, how you go about donating, the fact that you can donate, in a big chunk, monthly, yearly, even some stuff on how you take it off of your taxes. Though he said, certainly your accountants can handle that, but he knows some of their donors like to have at least a vague idea of exactly what's going on.
Excellent. Do your organization throw events for their donors? Get-togethers?
Occasionally. We usually have a sort of a Christmas, Hanukkah. We have one in December.
Well, fantastic. I'm very interested in donating to your organization on a regular basis. If you could send the needed forms to my lawyers, we can look it over and get it set up as soon as possible.
Absolutely. He starts gathering some papers. While this has been going on, what have the rest of you been doing? Immerdon, Wolf Witch, and the Architect have all been speaking to this guy. Slapshot, what have you and what has Everlast been doing?
Checking the windows, just looking, making sure nothing's about to bust through and fight me.
Okay.
Standing perfectly still, not breathing, not blinking.
You're in disguise. Do you have your hockey stick with you?
I'm
I don't like
going
where
to
this
say yes.
conversation's going.
How
It's
do
in a
you have?
bag.
Let's see here.
So surprise, surprise. You can get a bag check, and a piece of wood in a bag does not go over any detectors.
I mean, do they even check bags with private planes?
With private planes, a lot of times, no.
It's more this building's check. Would be like, why do you have a hockey
yeah.
stick?
Huh, I just realized Slapshot's last name is Freeman, too. Huh.
Yeah, that's why I said when we entered and they said Freeman, I went, Slapshot quickly opens his wallet, looks at his ID.
Oh, that's what
opens
that
his
was
wallet,
about. Okay.
Puts it back in his pocket.
Well, it's not a
Freeman.
super unusual name, so.
No, it's fairly common.
I'm looking at your abilities, and I don't see where you actually took any kind of limit on it about it being an object.
Oh no, I haven't. I mean, I was empowered by it.
Okay.
There's nothing specific that I have to have it around me to do my
Okay.
stuff. It's just more of a thematic thing.
I would probably say the strike, since the strike is actually hitting with the weapon.
Yeah.
But okay. So you didn't have to walk in holding the stick, but you didn't walk in defenseless either. Okay.
Yeah.
Not saying that's going to be important, but
We know.
So you've been looking at the windows and generally acting like security. Everlast.
Two things. I'd probably stay close to Seth and make sure he's feeling okay and not too nervous. Also, does he have any? Before we got here, I probably would have thought to ask if he had any, apart from blessing and cursing, did he have any kind of sensory abilities that could be useful in an investigation?
He can detect magic.
Okay. I probably asked him if he could detect anything now, and I'd be keeping my eyes up. Growing up in a mystic order, I might be a little more attuned to or aware of the kind of things that would indicate some kind of mystic organization being around here. So if there's any kind of awareness roll I can make for that, I'd keep my eyes open for that sort of thing as well.
Okay, give me an awareness. Well, you gave me an awareness roll earlier.
I did already give an awareness roll and flubbed it, so that would account for it. I could still be just overwhelmed by the Yorkness.
Let me roll one for Seth. Okay, he didn't say squat either. No, so far neither of you have detected any magic.
Okay, but that's what he should be preoccupied with.
Okay, so that's just kind of what he's keeping an eye out for.
Yeah.
Let's see. So yeah, he gets the name of the architect's lawyers. He'll send the papers over. And he thanks you for your donation, even though you haven't really told him how much you're donating yet. But he doesn't push too much, As he shows you out of the office, and y'all been in there about probably 45 minutes or so.
We never got the name of Vanderbilt's employer, did we?
You did not. As you're leaving, several of the office workers are kind of milling around. Give me an awareness check. Everlast has just never been in an office building before. She's just fast. She's seen them on TV, and now she's just fascinated.
They do have cubicles.
Those look like they'd be dreadful to work in. Actually, it's mostly individual offices in this place.
Yeah.
Let's see. So you had to beat a 7.
I think. Yeah, I just got a 7. I didn't beat it.
The two harbingers of magic. There have it.
Alright, so Imudan and Slapshot. There's a lot of office workers milling around. Not a big deal. You'd think, surely they'd have something to do, but maybe they're between meetings or something. Everlast, like I said, is just fascinated by being in the office, period. Oh, let me roll one for Seth. Seth is right there with Slapshot and Imudan. Architect and Wolf Witch.
Yes.
It suddenly just strikes you as odd. You've got all these guys hanging around, and they're all men. In fact, other than the receptionist, the only other woman you've seen was a woman stepping into the other elevator. As y'all came out one elevator, there was a woman stepping into into the opposite one. And you notice all these guys have the same haircut. You know,
That's
I mean,
interesting.
they're built differently. They all look different. Their hair colors are all, their hair is all different colors. But they've all got kind of a uniform haircut. I mean, it's just, it's cut short. It's, it's not anything unusual. Nothing super fashionable, but nothing unusual. It's just you realize they're all cut like that. And they're all wearing, it's business attire, but it's all more or less the same kind of outfit. Their khakis are in different shades. But they've all worn pretty much white shirts. It's... You wouldn't notice except there's so many of them milling around that it's giving you it's giving you this kind of slight Village of the Damned vibe.
Wolfwitch will mutter to the group. Stay on your toes. This is the place. They're a cult. They will try to kill us.
Give me a stealth check to see how quietly you can say that.
And that would be a awareness or a coordination roll?
That would be, I believe, coordination plus stealth if you've got it.
Gotcha. Oh no.
Not the mightiest of rolls.
And I'm just going to make one roll to see if anybody noticed.
Oh no.
The guy in the office behind you, he hadn't shut his door yet. He's like, "Cold? No, what's that? That's a terrible thing to say."
No. My cousin is buying a Colt revolver. C-O-L-T. C-O-L-T. I'm afraid you must have misheard me.
Yeah, I apologize for my staff. They're all new. Some of their tenure is going to be very brief.
As you're saying, as you've turned around and talked to him, you're saying that you suddenly see him kind of stop focusing on you, kind of look over your shoulder, and kind of goes, "Oh," and he just shuts the door, and you hear him lock it.
Oh, God damn it.
Crap.
Standing at the end of the hallway, say about here, you see a woman dressed in all black. As you turn around, she's pulled something up out of her collar up over this part of her mouth. This was it. Pittman? Yeah. Mrs. Pittman.
Yes.
You and most of your party may leave. We need to speak with the young lady.
Yeah, no, she came with us, and she's going to leave with us.
Are you certain you wish to stand by that statement? Things could become unfortunate.
I'm not going to abandon a child to some weirdo and all. Come on, let's go. Start moving towards
And all those
the elevator.
office workers kind of fill in the hallway on either side of you, so you're kind of pinned in. From around the corner, probably coming from the elevators, or maybe this back room area, you hear the steps of heavy feet. Multiple heavy feet. Almost marching. I mean, they're pretty in sync. And they seem to be coming around kind of from both angles here. Like they filed out of wherever and are kind of parting around. And of course, as they round the corner, you see, both from both hallways at the end of it, you see several individuals in that golden armor. And that's going to be where we wrap for today because it's just about 4 o'clock.
Yep.
I had not intended for this to go, another session, but, we got a late start.
We got a late start. We sort of drug it out.
We got some good role playing with Seth, right?
Oh, yes. That took more time than I had intended, but it's going to be dangling plot threads for later, so it needed to be done. I did not expect you to drag him into a mission on his first day, but
Oh, well.
I need some training. Yeah, you need some training. Come on, we're going into the lines then. But yeah, I had fun. I hope y'all enjoyed it, and we got to play with the personalities of the characters a little more.
Yeah.
Which is something I want to be
Always
sure
fun.
to do, given how many characters you have. I need to be sure to do that every opportunity we get. But anyway, so hopefully we all had fun. Anybody that comes by and watches this later, hope you enjoyed it. Hope you'll tune in next time. We do this every other week. Presumably, we will do the Haunted again next week to wrap this up, or next session to wrap this up. If we have somebody miss, then we'll segue away to one of our random groups of heroes. I think that may become kind of our standard operating procedure. If we're in the middle of something with one group, we'll just jump to another one if we have somebody missing. But anyway,
Works for us.
again, I've been the GM for the day, Jason, and with me has been Mike playing Everlast, Curtis playing Imudan, Anna playing the Architect, Zach playing Wolf Witch, and Taylor playing Slapshot and briefly. And we will see you next time.
Mm-hmm.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.